to explain you the next modal, that is need. Uses of need. Where we will use need. Need is used to indicate obligation and necessity. Obligation or necessity. For example, you need not go there now. You need not go there now. You are too late. You are too late. So here we are using need for the obligation. When there is obligation or necessity, that is called. And necessity for need I remind you. Need I remind you of your promise. Here for necessity we are using need, and for the obligation, you need not go there now, you are too late. So it is the obligation there, or for necessity when we will use, that is what we always use. Which modal? That is need. Next modal is uses of might, where we can use might. Might is the past of may. It is used to show possibility and purpose, but purpose should be in the past. Purpose should be in the past. Possibility example is it might rain. It might rain, but we can't be sure. We can't be sure. So here for the possibility, but it should be in the past. It might rain, but we can't be sure. Next is purpose, and purpose should be in the past. He worked hard. He worked hard. So here also we have used the past form is there. He worked hard so that he might pass. Here it is using for the past purpose. So might is using for the possibility and for the purpose. Next modal is ought to. And where will you use ought to? The use of ought to is, ought to indicates obligation, advice or recommendation. Ought to using for the obligation. Obligation example is you ought to attend the class. You ought to attend the class regularly. You ought to attend the class. Here is the obligation. You ought to attend the class regularly. So here it is an obligation. For the obligation we can use the ought to. Next is for the advice or recommendation we will use ought to. For example, he ought to consult a. He ought to consult a good doctor. Someone is recommended and giving a advice to any person, that is using for what? Ought to is using for what? The advice or recommendation. And person recommended something. It is he is recommending something. So for the recommendation and advice we will use ought to modal. Next is uses of used to. This is used to is also a modal. Used to. Used to is using like accustomed. Any person is habitual and accustomed. A habitual action in the past. When any habitual action in the past, that is we are using for the what? Used to. Next we are using used to with the state of thing. A state of thing. A state of things that existed in the past. That existed in the past. So here example for the habitual action in the past. The example is I used to fly kites. I used to fly kites when I was young. He is telling here the what he is doing the habitual action in the past. He was used to fly kites. I used to fly kites when I was young. Next, we are using used to with the state of things that existed in the past. For example, there used to be a restaurant. There used to be a restaurant. There used to be a restaurant here 10 years ago. Here 10 years ago. Here also a state of thing, the condition of a thing that existed in the past. There used to be a restaurant. So restaurant was there and it was the state condition of the thing that was existing in the past. So here we have used the used to for using for the habitual action in the past and a state of things that existed in the past. And here is the example of used to. Next is uses of dare. Uses of dare. Dare is using having the courage to be brave. It means courage. Courage to be brave enough. It means courage to be brave enough. Courage to be brave enough, that is called the what we are using the dare. It means the dare. Dare example is don't know. I don't know how he dares to say all that. So here is using for the what? Here is using for I don't know. Dare. Dare means courage or to be brave enough. I don't know how he dares to say all that. So here it is showing, he is showing his dare. Dare means that is courage. Enough courage is there. Enough bravery is there. So next example, how dare you disobey your parents? How dare you to disobey your parents? So here also what we have just used for the uses of dare. We have also used the dare for the what? For the courage to be brave enough. We have just used here. Now next modal is that is must. Uses of must. And where we use the must, must is used to indicate obligation, advice, a logical conclusion. Logical conclusion. We are using must for the obligation, advice, a logical conclusion. So here the example of obligation is you must pay your bill. You must pay your bill by the 7th of this month. So here the obligation is there. For the obligation we will use here must. Advice. For the advice, the patient is, for example, the patient is serious. You must take him to hospital. So here must is also using for the advice or recommendation. The patient is serious. You must. So here someone is recommending something. So for the recommendation or advice we can use the must here. And must is also using for the logical conclusion. Like you have worked a lot. You have worked a lot. You must be tired. So here someone is what with the working hard, he is feeling the what he feeling exhausted or tired. So here for the logical conclusion is there, he did the work hard, so due to that he must be tired. So for the logical conclusion we have used here what must. For the obligation, advice or recommendation or logical conclusion we will use must here. Thank you so much.